Hello people, welcome to my tutorial on how to install and set up the Go programming language on your computer. For this tutorial I'm going to go over how to do it in Windows, and hopefully I'll be able to make some notes about the parts that are different for Linux. So let's just go ahead and get started and open a browser. I'm using Firefox, and let's go to golang.org. Go to the downloads page. For this one we're going to do Microsoft Windows. We're going to save the file, and in a few seconds the download will complete, and we'll just go ahead and run the installer. So it'll just give us a install wizard here, and it will take a few moments to compute the space requirements. Go recently celebrated its 7th birthday, so it's quite a young language, but it's got an excellent standard library, and it's a very simple programming language to learn. But it's also a compiled language and runs pretty quickly. So let's go next, accept the terms, and it will be installed in C Go. You can change that to some other place if you'd like to, but that's actually a really great place to put it. And so let's just remember that, C Go, and install. And we'll say yes, that we want it to install. Just a few more seconds. So Go is actually an excellent programming language. It has, like I said, it has an excellent standard library, which you can take a look at over here in the packages. It has pretty much anything that you would want to do. And the only things that are really a pain to do are to create programs with graphical user interfaces. But other than that, it does an excellent job for pretty much anything else that you'd want to do. So especially for things like concurrency, running different threads, or actually in the Go programming language they're called Go routines. And it also has great facilities for doing things like manipulating images and interacting with databases, doing cryptography. There's all kinds of wonderful things that are part of the standard library, so you don't have to go hunting around for third-party libraries to run them. Go. Actually, if you take a look at some of these things, like let's say it's also wonderful for building browser or a servers, HTML servers. So if we go into NetHTTP, we can actually take a look at a very simple server, which I think, let's see, here's a good one. Yeah, so this is pretty much all that you need to write a program to run a little server that serves some files, which is pretty amazing for a compiled language and really easy to do. So hopefully it will finish up its installing soon. Here we go. So we'll click finish, and Go has pretty much been installed. Now we just have to do some configuration. So if you have Git installed on your machine, you can use Git Bash, and what you'll want to do is you need to add well, actually, let's set up our workspace. So Go is pretty opinionated about how you set up your workspace. And so what you'll want to do, I've already done this, but you'll want to set up a folder called Go, or whatever you want to call it. And inside that Go folder, you'll want to create 3 more folders called bin, package, and source. And source is where all of your projects will lie. You'll create all of your projects and all the sources will be there. And when you compile, you can actually have it be compiled and go into your bin folder. And package isn't really used so much. You don't really have to worry about it from a developer's perspective. But it's where kind of some files are stored where they're almost kind of like .o files in C++. But once you set up your Go workspace, what you'll want to do is either create or edit your bash RC file. And what you'll want to do is you want to export the installation of Go. So remember, our Go installation was in C under the C drive in the Go directory. So you want to export your path. You want to export cgo bin to your path environment variable. And you also want to export Go path. And that's wherever you created your workspace. So under my workspace, it's under my home directory, programming Go. And that's all that you need to do. Now, you probably, if you don't have Git Bash, or you're going to have some other programs that are going to be using it from Windows, then you'll want to edit your environment variables, your system environment variables. So you'll go here, and you'll want to add Go root, which will have cgo, and you'll want to add Go path, which will have the path of your workspace. And that's it. That's it for the configuration of Go. Once you have it installed, you can actually go version to see if you have it installed, and you'll see that you have the latest version of Go. So let's go ahead and cd into our source directory, and let's create a directory called hello, and go into that directory and create a file called hello.go. And what you want to do is all Go programs start with a package declaration. So let's create a package main. Main programs have a main package declaration. You can create other packages with different names, but main is where Go programs look to see where the main function will be. We can also import multiple packages at once, and that's like an import path or an include, a hash include for C++ and C. So let's do an import, and we'll import the FMT, or the format library or package, and that will allow us to print things out. So let's create a main function after that, and let's use our package print line and say hello world. Let's exit, and if you type in go run in the name of the file, it'll run that file. And you see that we've got hello world. So we have a working installation of Go. Now suppose you're doing this on Linux, then what you'll want to do is you'll want to download the Linux version. Go to the downloads page, you'll download the Linux version, and it'll have a tar.gz file. And so what you'll want to do is you get that tar.gz file, xyz .tar.gz, whatever this file is. You'll go to your downloads file, and it'll have this long name, and you'll just use the tar command, and you'll do xzf, and then put the name of the file in there, whatever it is, and then that will extract the file from it, and it'll just have a folder, and then you can move that folder. Actually, you'll probably want to do a sudo move that folder from wherever it is, so it'll be go to let's see, where should you put it? Probably maybe user local Go. If you move it in the user local, that's probably a good place to put it. And then when you edit your bash file, just remember that this is where your Go installation is. And then of course you create your workspace exactly the same as you do on Windows. And that's pretty much it for installing it on Linux. There really aren't too many differences. And that's it. That's the introduction for how to install and configure Go for your computer. Thanks for watching, people. See you next time.